There are only 4 types of men in the world. Which are you? Are you an alpha male, a beta male, a zeta male, or a sigma male? Listen in to the descriptions and answer the questions at the end of this video honestly, and you will have the truth of what kind of man you are. The truth may be hard to accept, but unless you know the truth, you can't work to change what you are, even if you have a desire to do so. If you instinctively said to yourself that you are either an alpha male or a sigma male, know that statistically speaking, unless you have tirelessly worked on yourself and taken the time to learn what it means to be a true alpha or sigma male from channels like this one, you are likely neither. Becoming either of these requires work. It is not something that can simply be wished for or given. It is something that can only be earned through reflective practice of oneself and hard work. It takes competency and action, not words, to claim the title of being an alpha or sigma male. Before we begin, it is important to note that whatever type of male you are can change at a moment's notice. Alphas can be taken over by someone who is more alpha, zetas can join a group and become a beta, etc. The type of man someone is often situational as well. You might be the alpha of your house and yet be a beta at your workplace or in your friend circle. This video will teach you what you are and how sometimes the dynamics of what kind of man someone is can change. Perhaps viewed as the weakest amongst the 4 types of male, and possibly the most vulnerable, is the Zeta male. Zeta males are men who stick to themselves. They are loners who don't have a pack, and have no commanding presence when in the company of others. They are loners by choice, and often forgo romantic relationships. The Zeta male is someone who rejects the conventional expectations and stereotypes of what it means to be a man, and instead chooses to live their life according to how they see fit. Because of this, they are often viewed as the outcasts of society. In a high school setting, these were the kids who were content to be alone with no friends. Because of this, Zeta males are often open-minded about experiences, as they choose not to let others' ideas shape their own. The truth is, even though they are viewed as weak, they don't care about others' views of themselves, and in this sense, they are respectable. They are only more vulnerable in times of need than betas because, unlike betas, they don't have a pack to fall back on when times get hard. A Zeta male can turn into a beta male if he finds a tribe he feels he would rather belong to. Like betas though, they adapt a more passive role in life, and because of this, they are often not as competent as what they could be, as becoming truly competent in anything requires drive and hard work towards achieving that goal. The beta male is by far the most common type of man, making up over 90% of men for any given situation. The beta male is a pack animal, but he is not in charge. He instead falls in line according to the alpha's whims and wishes. He does as instructed, though he is often mediocre in his competency or ability to complete his tasks. The beta male assumes a passive and supportive role in order to best serve the alpha. For this, he is rewarded protection from the alpha and secures the alpha's friendship, as well as a sense of belonging to the alpha's pack. A beta's approach to life displays moderation, and they are not goal-driven. The beta takes a passive role not just with his alpha, but with life in general, letting things come and go depending on circumstances. Beta males hate competition, and are mostly satisfied with their positions in life. The beta male puts no effort into climbing a social hierarchy or advancing their career. Contrary to popular belief, betas do often get into romantic relationships and can find success with them. Inside their romantic relationships, they often let their partner make decisions. They are easygoing, they are not demanding, and at all times they put their partner's needs before themselves. The word that best describes a beta is complacent. The sigma male is characterized by his fierce independence. Like Zeta males, they are loners instead of pack animals. Unlike Zeta males though, a sigma male would never be considered an outcast, as they are too dangerous and have too much to offer. Another difference is that a sigma male can lead when they need to, but they generally choose to lead by example and mutual communication, instead of by establishing dominance or authority like how an alpha male would. A sigma male has no problem using a social hierarchy to reach his goals when need be, and they have the people skills to do so when necessary. They are introverts by nature, but are incredibly socially aware. They are extremely competent and always find a way to get the job done. Because of this, alpha males will often try to recruit sigma males into their tribe to strengthen it, though this can have mixed consequences. If the sigma joins and submits himself to the alpha, then he is no longer a sigma, as a true sigma would never do this. If a sigma male joins an alpha's tribe and shows too much independence, it can lead to a division in the tribe, as the beta males within the tribe will admire the sigma male's strength. If this happens to too much of a large degree, the sigma can take over as being the alpha, or cause a split in the tribe. A true sigma male is only rivaled by an alpha. The alpha male is often viewed as the ultimate male, and for good reason. They are competent and rule at the top of a hierarchy. They are pack animals, and have the resources of all the betas in their tribe at their disposal. They are dominant and rule with authority, though true alphas will often lead with a benevolent dominance, as the alpha male wants the betas in his tribe to feel good about serving him. Alphas are extremely goal-oriented and do not take a passive role in life. They have desires and will work hard to achieve them. The alpha male also knows how to use their beta males to help achieve their own goals, as well as when and who to recruit into their numbers to strengthen their tribe standing. They are different from sigma males in that they choose to be a pack animal, whereas sigma males prefer to be alone. These are the only 4 types of males. Everything else is a subdivision of these 4 male archetypes. In dealing with human interactions, you either belong to a tribe or you don't. You're either competent and able to lead, or you're not. It is the combinations of these 2 factors that create the 4 different types of males. Now that you know the truth of the 4 types of men, ask yourself and honestly answer the following questions. Do you belong to a tribe of friends or coworkers? Do you have a group of people that you actively participate with? Are you the leader of your group? If something were to happen in your group, would the others turn to you or someone else first? If you needed a favor from someone in your group, would they jump at the opportunity to help you, or would they be hesitant about it? Are you a loner? If so, when in a group, when you speak, do others quiet themselves to listen? Are you capable of being a leader and just choose not to, or do you truly just stick to yourself because it's all that you currently can do? As you answer these questions, it's important to note that one-time examples don't suffice for an answer. Your answers must speak to what normally happens within each of your social circles, as it is possible to be one type of man within one group, and yet you can be something entirely different in another group. If you've answered these questions honestly, with the knowledge you now have of the 4 types of males, then you should know what type of male you are. If not, rewatch the video as many times as it takes, because the answers to what kind of man you are inside this video.